You know those words, they hurt me. You'd found out what made me angry, then use it to your ability. Now you're trying to avoid me. You're the big problem here, a bully to many for so many years. Now shut your mouth, close your ears. Never learned your lesson and nobody cares. That's what you're here for, here to make me miserable. I know you get joy out of it. You hurt me but call me the same names again. You know I never liked them, and that's so unforgivable. I know you ruined my childhood. You hurt me and do it all over again. You ruined my childhood. You hurt me and do it all over again.
This is Fantasy-esque, and welcome back to The Sims 4 Royal Witch Kingdoms. Today we are continuing with the noble family of Holcane. Now, before we dive into the episode and any explanations on the movie, I have to clarify something. So I didn't realize this while I was recording the previous episode, which is why I didn't mention anything about it. But I did record a wedding episode for Eldrick and Helicent, like we always do, and we had a wedding party. All of that happened. There was a little bit of drama, and then I rendered that episode really late at night, and I told myself, when I wake up tomorrow morning, I'm going to upload it before I, delete all the stuff that I normally do, like all the footage, and then move on to the next episode. That's what I told myself. Now, I woke up in the morning, and what I do, I have all the videos uploaded before I go to bed, and then in the morning, I just clear all of my, storage on the computer, so I don't keep any of the footage or the rendered episodes, because that takes up space, and I usually clear, everything of the last episode before I start a new one. So, I confidently cleared everything, assuming that I had uploaded the night before. And then, when I was uploading the previous episode, I realized, wait a second, there's a video that's missing. There's a video missing, and then I realized what happened, and I went back and checked my my recycle bin and it wasn't there. So, unfortunately, we lost that episode. It was supposed to be episode 20. Last episode was supposed to be 21, but we've kind of shifted the numbers back a bit. Thankfully, no one was born in the 20th episode, the original episode 20. But there might be a few things that you guys are confused about. Maybe I was speaking about a ton of things in the previous episode, assuming you guys knew what was going on, but I guess they're just stuff you're going to have to pick up as we go. One of the things that I'm not entirely sure I mentioned is that Calypso, she was pregnant because we got a pop-up for her while we were playing one of the previous households, and when we were with the Holcanes, we saw her, but she didn't have a bump. She did end up off camera in episode 19 giving birth to twin girls, which we kind of mentioned in the movie of this episode. So she has twin daughters and she survived her birth, thank goodness, even though she had like a 15% chance of dying. So she has an heir and a spare. And Helicent has nieces. And there's a few other things that we'll kind of just go ahead with as we play. I don't think I need to go through all the little things that happened in that missing episode. If anything, we'll be able to make up in this one. I may just throw like another wedding party for your sake, because you guys weren't there in the original one. So we'll do that in this episode. But okay, what happened in the movie? Basically, Helicent is not happy with the fact that she is pregnant, of course. She was in the bathroom kind of speaking her mind and saying that, she cannot wait to be rid of this cursed child, as in she can't wait to get it out of her body, because it was kind of forced on her. She conceived when they consummated the marriage, but she really did not want to get pregnant because she hates children, so she's not excited by the idea at all. So she was kind of saying that, and then the fact that once she has this child, she will not consent to giving Eldrick another. Whether or not that holds true, we'll have to see in the long run, but she doesn't want any more children. She doesn't want to be put through this again. And then, because in the previous episode, Calypso was invited over by, I don't remember if it was Veronica or Samara, one of the girls. I think it was Veronica who wanted to introduce herself, I'm not entirely sure. That happened, and so Eldrick took the time to speak to Calypso, and Calypso noticed that Helicent was upset. I'm sure she spoke to Helicent, maybe gave some advice on the pregnancy, and Helicent, was not really taking it that well. And Calypso was kind of upset at the fact that her stagda is so sad. And this is not what she had hoped for her. And Eldrick was kind of, I think, like he was not paying it too much attention. He was being a bit dismissive. Like, once she has nalkahood, like, motherhood, she will get over it, like, it'll fix her. It's not something serious to be worried about. She's just getting used to pregnancy. So all of that's happening. Eldrick's just being dismissive of all of this because it is contrary to what he believes a true lady should be acting like, and it's not what, like, he's not used to this kind of behavior. It's not what he saw in his Nalka growing up. She was always receptive to all the pregnancies, so he's just thinking it's a phase that she'll get out of. And then after he went away, Samara came out to speak with Calypso, and she congratulated Calypso on the birth of her twins, and then Calypso said it was a difficult birth because, Calypso's sickly. And then Samara was telling her that maybe that's what Helicent is afraid of, but don't worry, even if Helicent wants to wash her hands of this child, at the end of the day, Veronica and I are still its kotas, so we will take care of it, and we will be its nalka if we have to. So, we are the paternal aunts, and we'll be its mother if need be. Now, that may not hold true if one of them gets married to the High King of Holcane, Edmund, but at this point in time, we don't know the fate of the royal family, and we don't know who Edmund is going to choose as his wife. So, you know, we have the two sisters to take care of the baby or help with the baby as much as possible, even if Helicent becomes negligent, because it is kind of looking that way. She doesn't seem to be that fond of this heir. So we've got that going on. I mean, if Veronica gets married off, then we always have Samara to raise the child. If Samara gets married off, we always have Veronica. If neither of them get married off, we have both of them. So hopefully that makes Calypso feel a little bit better. But let's go ahead and pop in some whims for these ladies. Veronica is doing some cooking because finally, after like ages, she's in a good mood. And fingers crossed we'll be able to get some proper food in here. Samara, she is tending... Oh my goodness, look at how terrible this is. Look at how terrible this is. Oh my goodness, talk with the chickens. These chickens, they are not happy. Talk with them. And then also, you need to weed. You need to spray for bugs. Like, look at this. This is just crazy. Okay, you're speaking to most of the chickens. Maybe not all of them. I don't know which ones we're talking to and which ones we're not. Well, let's try and get as much farm work done as possible. These ladies definitely don't really have as much free time. And look, Calypso is talking to Helicent, trying to educate her on, you know, her situation. But Helicent, not entirely that fond of it. Now, this is one aspect of married life she did not think about. But, you know, she's having to deal with it. Now, she is in her second trimester still. Yeah, that's fine. And I think maybe... I don't remember which of the Holdogan sisters invited Calypso over, but, you know, as well as wanting to introduce themselves and put Calypso at ease, maybe they just wanted someone to be able to speak to the lady of the house and give some advice, because they really don't know. They don't have experience in these matters. But okay, Helicent wants to chat with High Lady Meralda, which is kind of curious. How are they acquainted? Oh, that's right. Their brother, their deceased brother, Kenzo, was actually betrothed to Meralda at one stage before he died. So it makes sense they have that connection there, and she wants to speak to Meralda. Oh. Doesn't it look like her mood has improved? But, yeah. I mean, he's giving her attention because he's happy with the fact he's getting an heir, especially because he's an elder now. But, yeah. I don't think, like, deep down, I think Helicent, as the pregnancy progresses, she's excited, not about seeing the child, but about being rid of the child. Okay, and then Samara back here. Samara wants to get to know Lady Velena, and she wants to chat with Princess Padme, who she was acquainted with during the wedding party, which I need to throw again, so we have that. And then you want to cloud gaze with your brother, but we don't really have, like, it's not the right time for that. But look, we had this setup back here, and we had the wedding ceremony take place and all of that. Unfortunately, that episode was not uploaded. My bad. My bad, in all honesty. Okay, well, I don't know if we'll be able to invite these Sims to the wedding party, but we might be able to get a lot of these whims done then. So, I mean, it is quite late, and I don't know if now would be a good time to hold a wedding party. Maybe we'll wait until Helicent's in her third trimester, like in the next day, and then we'll try and do that. Okay, it's 10 a.m. on Saturday. We have the Holdogan wedding party happening, of course, because I accidentally deleted that episode before uploading it. So there we go, we've got that. This is what the Holdogan wedding colors look like. And then, of course, Helicent is in the female version of the outfit, as you can see here. And I mean, you guys have looked at their portrait, which is right up this way. But we've seen the noble wedding outfit before with the Holbarts. They have black and grey, and the Holdogans have a lighter grey, white, and orange. So that's what's going on with these two. Now, there's like a ton of information going through my brain that like comes and goes, and I might forget to mention off the bat. But I'm sure they will come to me slowly. Veronica, why don't you help out with polishing this to perfection? We'll go do that. And we have some more wimps to track down. What is happening? Why are you angry? Look at him. He's throwing a drink at Princess Padme. Dude, what is your problem? I feel like the Holdogans are getting too cocky right now. Like, it took him a lot of effort to befriend Padme, and then he just threw a drink in her face. What the hell? Anyways, now one of the things I want to talk about before we move on is the fact that our Sims are becoming elders now of Eldrick's generation. And because of that, some of them are having to take on adopted heirs. Now, who is having to take on an adopted heir? Well, when I jumped into when I jumped into Manage Worlds at the end of the previous episode, like off camera, I noticed that High Queen Faina, guys, is an elder, and she has not managed to have any children of her own. And because, even though Lion, her husband, is still an adult, because Faina, what am I saying, Lena? Because Faina is the ruling parent, because she is the ruler of Ciccar, she's the head of the house, we trace lineage from her, right? And it doesn't matter if Lion is still young. Faina, unfortunately, cannot conceive anymore. So this couple, they had to consider taking an adopted heir. And they did. They have decided to adopt Prince Luther as their heir. So Luther actually is no longer living with Edmund in the royal family of Holcane. He has been moved to Ciccar. He now lives in the Ciccar royal palace, and his name has been changed to High Prince Luther Ciccar. And we had a few options. Faina had a few options. She had some, I think she had Calypso's spare child as an option from Ciccar that she could have adopted. Lion over here had 2 nephews and a niece that live in Holcane, who we've met. And then Faina had a nephew in in Luther. Now, Luther, as we know, is son of Vex and Luna. Luna was Faina's younger stagda, her younger sister. So, Faina and Padme, they are Luther's Naldas. So they're his maternal aunts. And then Elrond, of course, the king of Ramong, is his Nalaro, his maternal uncle, sorry. So he had a lot of, relations and connections in that regard. Not every adopted heir, they don't have to be related to be made into an adopted heir, but that kind of situation worked out in this case. So Faina and Lion, they don't have a continuation of their specific bloodlines, but Luther is connected to the Ciccars because his mother was a Ciccar. His Nalka was a Ciccar. So we do have that going on, which is just a little bit wild, but I know some of you lovelies were hoping that Faina would not conceive so that Luther could become the High King of Ciccar, and yep, that is the case. He is going to be High King. Another thing, now Eve and Edmund are the only ones in the royal palace of Holcane, and Eve aged up into a toddler. Guys, she has Luna's exact genetics. She's got Luna's dark blue skin, Luna's light brown hair, and Luna's light blue eyes. So it's like having a mini Luna, which must be so heartbreaking for Edmund. And heart-wrenching, seriously, for me to see like a mini me of Luna when I was making her over. So we've got that going on. So Eve is going to be the next ruler of Holcane, and then her half of Laro, her half brother, Luther, is going to be the High King of Ciccar, the next ruler of Ciccar. And it's kind of crazy because, you know, the next High King of Ciccar looks like what a traditional Holcane would, and the next High Queen of Holcane looks like what a traditional Ciccar would. So it's kind of crazy, but that's what we have going on with those guys. Now, I don't know if we could trace the family members in that way. I don't think so. Anyways, with Calypso, you can see she has twin daughters here, so an heir and a spare. And obviously, you know, she survived her birth. Now with Helicent, I've checked, I think, if I'm not mistaken, she's got like a 3% chance of dying from childbirth, so a very, very, very low percent chance. She should survive and be fine. We don't have any other marriage connections to the Holdogans and Siddelys. Like, they're the only ones connected to each other, unfortunately. So we can't exactly trace or track anything down, and none of them have met Princess Eve, so we can't even check that out. But oh well, what can be done? Nothing at all right now. So I think with Edmund, you know, he's definitely going to be looking into providing Eve with a Nalka soon, because he's going to need help. Like, there has to be someone in the palace to help raise the children before they become adults, and that is usually the spouse's job, not the head of the house. It's the spouse's job, or it's like a younger sibling, a younger family member's job. And when Luther was staying with Edmund, obviously Luther was making a lot of effort to look after Eve and tend to Eve and, you know, help raise Eve. But now that he has been adopted into Ciccar, his responsibilities and everything is in Ciccar. He cannot be here to look after his half-sister. So Edmund really has to think about getting married, because otherwise he's, you know, neglecting the education and everything, the love and care of his daughter, and I don't think he wants that at all. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. Luther had the exact genetics of Vex, and Eve had the exact genetics of Luna, which is pretty wild. And Dorian's an elder now as well. Dorian's an elder. His wife, I think, is pregnant right now with their 5th child, so, you know, they've been very, very successful in growing their family. And honestly, I feel like it's quite unexpected that Faina did not end up having any kids. Like, the Ciccars, they had the biggest family in the previous generation. This time around, the Holbots had the biggest family. So I'm not that gutted that Lion didn't have kids, because at least, like, we know his brother had a ton. That's kind of interesting that not everybody, you know, does that. Okay, Veronica wants to be friendly with Helicent and become friends. Aren't you already friends with Helicent? Yes you are, you silly goose. You are already friends. Well, that was silly of you. Honestly. Let's see, though, what we can get done. Who is at the party that we could actually tend to? Princess Padme is here, apparently. Or has she left? Oh, no, she is here. She is here. So let's chat with Princess Padme. Let's thank her for coming. And we will discuss interests with her. Let's go do that. Let's go do that. There we go. That's nice. And then discuss interests with the princess. you at least make a good impression on her, even if your flippin' Vlaro is yelling at the princess or insulting her for no apparent reason. Like, come on, don't burn your bridges, dude. That is not the way to be doing things. Oh, okay, she's already spoken to the princess. And that is good. Okay, Veronica, be friendly with Helicent. Obviously, Helicent is expectant, so they're gonna want to tend to her a bit more. Let's ask to feel the baby. Let's go do that. You would be fascinated, no doubt. Samara, why don't you come and repair? I'm sorry to tear you away from that conversation, but, oh? Okay then. There we go. She was happy with that. That's good, that's good. I think Helicent at this point is friends with both her Najames, so that works out quite well. Okay, what we want is to get to know Velena, so why don't we invite Velena? She was not invited to the wedding party because she is not an acquaintance of Eldrick. He's got a very small pool of people that he knows, but he does know the king of Ciccar, and he does know the High King of Holcane. So yeah. They have that. They have that. And I feel like this kind of small party for, you know, his wedding and such, yes, it's for them, but also I feel like he would use this opportunity to, like, push his younger sisters towards the king and try and get them to speak more. I wonder if any of them have met. Like, have they introduced themselves? They have none of them, neither of them have introduced themselves to High King Edmund. I mean, he would be an intimidating sim, I feel like, because of his stature to, you know, speak to. But I feel like Eldrick's almost parading his sisters around the High King. So he can maybe consider them as a future wife, as a queen for Holcane. But yeah, intriguing. Very intriguing. And what's this? Become enemies with King Lion? Helicent, what is your problem? Meralda, let's invite... Actually, I mean... So she and Lion dislike each other, and I don't know why that is. I don't know why. But she wants to become enemies with Lion. So you know what? She's gonna do exactly that. She is going to insult Lion. Why? I don't know. She's gonna insult Lion. For maybe not being able to have children. Maybe. And Lion's like a really good person as well. But, Helicent, she's bitter right now. She's mean. I think, you know what it is? I think she's just jealous of the fact that, Lion and Faina didn't have any kids. Like, they tried, but they never could. But, like, that's her ideal situation. So, she's taking it out on them. And she knows they wanted kids. Whereas she didn't. And she's being made to have a kid. So, she's kind of using her situation to throw it in their face, like rub it in their face, but it's actually her just being jealous of them. So she's gonna throw a tantrum, she's gonna yell, she's gonna mock his outfit. Let's see. She's gonna throw a drink at him. Just basically have no... And what is this? Eldrick is like becoming good friends with Helicent. What, you invited the king of Flippin' Ciccar to your wedding party and you're being trashy to him? That's just ridiculous. This is not the way you should be acting when you're hosting a royal. Seriously, I feel like these guys brush off. I think it's their slight popularity, or, you know, they're not really popular, but they climbed up in the world a little bit after the previous monarchs died, and I feel like it's getting to their head now. They're starting to, yeah, become like a bit too cocky. And, you know, they think they can do these things. They're like at the top of the world, and, you know, little excuses. They have little excuses to act out of line, and that seems to be okay for them. Are they enemies now? They despise each other. I don't know if they're enemies. They do despise each other. Okay, well, she's lost the desire to become his enemy. Maybe, like, last minute she's realized it's unwise to do that. Well, it's kind of late, because you guys really, really despise each other. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, well, you go eat some of these cookies that have been made. Everyone feed themselves. We've got some raspberry pie. Veronica, let's have some cookies. You have some pie. Everyone grab food. Okay, the wedding party is over and done with. The others, they're going to be excusing themselves. Let's see what we can put down for everyone. Become friends with Calypso. You're already friends with Calypso though, you silly goose. Okay, Veronica. Get to know Lady Helicent. Chat with Lord Marquis. Who's this? Nope, I don't know who that is. And Eldrick wants to ask Helicent about her day. And a bunch of these Sims are hungry. Yep. Okay, let's see. Who's in the household that we can work with? Veronica, you can get to know Helicent. Maybe get to know, like, how she's feeling right now. If everything's okay with her regarding the baby. Okay, as soon as you're done, clean this up. Let's see, did you speak to her? Did you? How's she feeling? Is she feeling decent? Come on, let's chat with her. As her Najimes, check in on her, please. Her behavior is like all over the place right now. Okay, excellent. Someone, Samara, clean this up, please. Veronica. Okay, they've done that. Eldrick wanted to ask Helicent about her day. Obviously, he's more focused on the pregnancy as well. So let's ask about a day. There's some Sims who are more concerned, like with Edmund, when Luna was pregnant, he was more concerned about Luna than, you know, the baby. Obviously, he cared about the baby, but Luna was his primary concern. Whereas in this situation, very much, I feel like Eldrick is concerned about the heir. Helicent comes secondary to that. And he's glad to know that Helicent physically seems to be doing fine. I feel like a lot of the times they have to read between the lines because Helicent isn't exactly cooperative in that regard. But you should probably use the restroom. The others seem to be doing fine, relatively. And why don't you invite over Meralda? She wants a visit from Meralda, so we'll do that. And you can chat with her just a little bit. But yeah, like I said, Meralda was engaged to her brother at one stage. Her younger brother. Before he died, so they have a connection through that. That's how they know each other. Because Helicent, you know, she's married into Holcane, but she's from Ciccar, and Meralda is from Ramong. But that is the connection they had once upon a time. And yes, if Veronica wishes to be fit, that is absolutely fine with me. They'll probably need it. What's going on here? Princess Padme. What are you doing? Why are you... Oh, it's spoiled? Okay, well, when you're done... Okay, here she comes. We'll get Eldrick to... Can you invite her inside? I don't know, but do a respectful introduction. since she is a guest at your house and you are the head of this house, so might as well do an introduction. Since, you know, it's your job to receive her. Excellent. And then we'll get you to chat with her. Let's go do that. Let's go chat with Meralda. And then I think I'll leave these two alone for a little bit. Okay, are you done? We need to prepare some more food. The cookies seem to be fine, but like we only have one set of cookies. So let's make some more. We made some raspberry pie last time. Let's see. What seems appealing? Maybe like faux meat Wellington. We'll make some of that. We'll make some of the faux meat Wellington. Why the flip not? Oh, look at these guys. Look at these guys. Spending time with each other. Okay, and she wants to be friendly with Eldrick. So let's apologize to him. I don't know what for. If they had an argument about something. She feels closer to him. He, on the other hand, is like upset at her a bit. Okay, but she apologized to him. There was some flirtation going on with someone that he got jealous by. So, okay, they're working through that. And oh my goodness, Meralda's like yelling at Alicent. Oh goodness. Maybe she heard about the drama that happened with King Lion and she's like, that is no excuse to act out of line, young miss. Oh, well, she's not a young miss anymore. She's a lady. But Meralda's high lady, so she can afford to do that. I don't know who this rando is. Don't know, don't care. But you want to invite over Velena. So let's do that. Samara can invite over Velena. And oh look, we've got foodsies. We've got some nice foodsies. Okay, you go eat some cookies. Go have some more cookies. And Veronica, let's eat some of that Wellington you made. We'll eat some of the Wellington, and then we'll cook some more. Do some more cooking. Oh, look at all these things. I love it every time we have like more food that we can make. It's amazing. Make some chocolate scones. Yeah. We'll have some scones. We'll do that. Chocolate scones. That's nice. So you go do some baking. I told you to eat though. Fine. Fine. I guess she wants to bake and eat later. We can do that too. And here comes Velena. Velena, hello, hello. We wanted to get to know your condition. How are you? I think she's... Oh, they're hugging each other. When did they get so close? I don't know. Can we not get to know her? Apparently, we cannot get to know her. I did not realize that. But that's fine. That's fine. Maybe we can just chat with her, generally. Because we have... I think we heard from, maybe we can say Dorian. Just ask about it. I think maybe we heard from Dorian that Velena was pregnant or expecting. Well, they were trying something. So she just wants to know how she is. There we go. We'll let them chat. And Veronica here, she actually wants to speak with Lord Marquis. So she wants a visit from Marquis. We'll see if we can get him to come visit us, although I don't know if we'll be able to convince him. Oh look, chocolate scones. Delicious! We'll leave them there. They lost, like, big... Actually, no, they lost the same amount as any other food. But that's fine. Let's see. It's pretty late, though. I don't know if Marquis is going to show up. I don't know if he's going to show up. Is he? Is he? Yes, he'll be right over. Nice. You need to give a friendly introduction to him. Not, whatchamacallit, respectful one, because he actually has a lower position than you. But, yeah, give a friendly introduction. Nice. And now, Veronica, your youngest stagda, can chat with him. Now she can speak to him. Because you have received the guest. So we'll go do that. There we go. I don't know how you know Marquis. Definitely from one of the parties, probably. From one of the parties. But also, actually, I'm just being silly. He is, his Hellison's Stabellum. So that actually makes sense. That's the connection. Their families know each other. Okay, I'll leave you to chat. And actually, guys, I'm thinking since Hellicent is in her 3rd trimester, she should be having her baby pretty soon. And I definitely want to do that in this episode, so I'm gonna leave off until she gives birth, and then we'll come back and check in on her and the new baby when it's born. Okay, guys, our lady of the house, Hellicent, has given birth to a healthy baby girl named Miss Becerra Holdogan, and this name was suggested to me by EKA9838, so thank you so much for that awesome name. This is Miss Becerra. She is the heir of Holdogan, and thankfully her mother did survive childbirth, so we don't have to worry about her being sickly like Princess Eve or anything like that. Also, the other thing that I mentioned in the, I think, wedding episode, which I forgot to before that point, is that Princess Eve, I mean, I might have in the Holbot episode, but Princess Eve, because her mother died, she is a sickly child, so she has a higher chance of dying from childbirth when she's older. She's got a 14% chance. Not only that, but if she ever engages in a duel with someone, she has a 2 in 6 chance of dying from an overload, just like Calypso. But I mean, Calypso's managed it well so far, so hopefully High Princess Eve does as well. But we have our young one, which is very, very exciting. Now, I cannot tell which parent she's taken her coloring after, but we all know at this point not to trust babies. Babies are untrustworthy. So Hellicent, she's had the baby and then she's kind of like moved away. She's not really wanting to be very motherly towards it. Marquise was in attendance and so was Valena, which is kind of cool. And I feel like this is where the others are going to step in, like Veronica, to bottle feed the baby and, you know, bounce the baby. The Cotters are the ones who are going to be tending to the child more than Hellicent is. I don't think Hellicent very much is going to want to be involved with the child rearing as much. So, yeah, she really wants to go pee. Go do that. Go do what you want to do. Now, unfortunately, Samara missed the birth because she was busy sleeping, which is fine, I suppose. But Eldrick, no doubt he's going to want to see the child. So as soon as Veronica is done taking care of the little one, she's gonna hopefully move out of the way. Move out of the way. Yovlara wants to see the heir. Okay, so here he is. He's taking a look at his daughter, who he is no doubt really happy and over the moon by. So yeah, there we go. There we go. You know what? I think it's going to be a good change for Holdogan to have a female head of the house and after Eldrick. Just because the men, they just have not. I mean, this isn't always the case. The Holbots are an example. All their heirs have been male, but they have been like fine gentlemen. The Holdogans, however, they act like savages. So I think it's probably good that we have a girl who's going to be head of the house next time. But okay, Veronica, I think everyone more or less is like ready to go to bed at this point. You know, the baby was born, it was healthy, it was happy. Hellison's like really over the moon to be done with this. Like, she's happy that she doesn't have to deal with, you know, carrying a child around as well. But from here, guys, we can actually move on to the new kingdom. So next episode, when we jump back in, we will be carrying on with the kingdom of Eoja and the royal family there. Now, because it's a new kingdom that's been introduced, the spouses are already formed, so we are going to be having no like wedding ceremonies. That's something we'll have to discover in the next season probably, once, you know, the people of Eoja have their children. But they're essentially all new bloods, which will be quite fun. So we'll have the consummation episodes for them, and then fingers crossed we get some heirs. And once that's done, more or less, we should be able to figure out like who's had an heir and who doesn't. I mean, at this point, let's quickly just go through some of the households in my head. So Ramong has an heir, and some of these heirs have been born off camera because we got the pop-ups. Ramong has an heir, Rawan has an heir and a spare, Ramadust has an heir and a spare, Ciccar has an adopted heir now with Luther, the House of Ciccar has an heir and a spare. No, they just have an heir. The House of Sidley has an heir and a spare because Calypso had twins. The House of Holcane has an heir now. Holbots, they have an heir and plenty spares. They've got like 4 spares at this point. Or Wolverine is pregnant with one. The House of Holdogan has an heir. That actually means every household now has an heir. So we will only be allowing our Sams to have babies, whether it's on camera or off camera, or like while we're playing with them, or while, you know, they're in another household with the pop-ups. We'll only be allowing them to have babies until all the families in Eoja have an heir for themselves. That's essentially all we're waiting for at this point. And also, we don't really get pop-ups for them because I think the Kingdom of Eoja, they're not really connected with the others since they haven't really met the others very much. Hopefully all of that changes, but if so, I'm quite excited for it. So anyways, guys, with that said and done, I'm going to leave off. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.